The storm has passed. The Olympic Games are over. It feels weird, right? After those 14 days, it felt like more than 14 days for us at least.
Yeah.
But India have ended up with 6 medals, one less than what they managed in Tokyo. A lot of bittersweet moments, a lot of medals won, but a lot of fourth place finishes as well. And there were quite a few good stories that came out apart from the Indian campaign. And one result we are still waiting for is Vinesh Phogat, whether she'll be given that silver medal or not. But what did you guys make of the entire campaign, India's campaign? Let's be specific. In this episode of Olympic Tales, we'll only be talking about India's campaign, whether it was good, whether it was good enough for the hype that they created, hype that we all created. At the start of Olympic Tales, we said 10 might be a possibility this time, but it's not happened. How do you guys look at it?
For me, I think there was a lot of promise that was shown. I think there is a lot of potential that gives me hope going into 2028. That is what I would say. I think we had Manu's performance. The shooters really impressed me. Archery team, not so much. Lakshay showed that he has promise but needs to improve on a lot. Otherwise, the badminton team was a little bit underwhelming. Athletics, obviously, I think Neeraj was the standout for us.
Yeah.
Wrestling, yes, again, Vinesh's performance, fingers crossed, she gets a medal. And Aman Sarawat, what a talent, great talent. And obviously, you had the hockey team. They could not change the color of the medal, but I think overall, when I look at the performances, it was brilliant. But they have to go through a transition now, and 2028, it does give a lot of promise for me. That is what I would say.
It's a bittersweet kind of an Olympics, isn't it?
Hmm.
There was so much. I mean, at least I thought that we were not going to win 6 medals. I thought much, much more.
Hmm.
Not, if not double digits, at least pushing to that, like more than 7, 8, 9, whatever. The fact that, like we did well in the places that we are not supposed to. Let's say Aman Sarawat winning the bronze, and then let's say Nisha Dahiya getting so close to getting a medal, but ending up getting hurt at a crucial point of time. But then our hopefuls, Sachi, Laksha, Manu Bhakar in 25 meters specifically, those things did not happen. So it is a mixed campaign,
Yeah.
but I think what people are, some people are trying to make it look like that it's an utter failure that a population of 1.4 billion has just won 6 medals. I think that's a false narrative. The medal tally does not show how good we actually were in the Olympics this time around.
See, India finished on the 71st spot. Pakistan, to make that comparison here, Pakistan finished above us because of that gold medal that Arshad Nadeem won. But the International Olympic Committee officially does not recognize any rankings based on medals and all that. It's just the news outlets and other websites. Even the Olympic official website has it, olympics.com. But the IOC doesn't recognize all this. Like in USA, for instance, they take the entire medal tally to rank the nations. Like it's not just the gold, but the universal, as in like the popular standard is you rank it based on gold.
Gold, not the number of medals.
No, based on gold. If you look at it that way, India are 71 out of 200 odd countries, and Pakistan have finished well above 62 because of their one gold medal. Like you said, yes, a lot of narratives have been set saying that, okay, for a population of 2 billion, nearly 2 billion, you are just winning 6 medals at the Olympics. Is that a fair assessment to make?
No, I don't see, because I felt, okay, Neeraj, a fully fit Neeraj could have gone for that gold medal.
How do we know?
We don't know.
How do we know,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, we don't know.
On that day, it did not happen.
Yeah.
So it did not happen.
It did not
It's
happen.
fine. And it's like people are portraying that Neeraj lost. He won the silver, man.
So same thing, like when you look
Settled for silver.
Settled for silver, is it? No.
So Neeraj, if it was a fully fit thing, I think he could have crossed the 90 meter. This is my assessment.
Yeah.
90 meter mark.
But I don't think he would have won it with
It
whatever
could
he
have
was
been,
doing
could-
it.
Yeah.
Like,
And then when
yeah.
I look at the hockey team, that semi-final against Germany,
Oh, we just missed it, yeah.
we completely outclassed world champions Germany. who ended up winning only silver.
Yeah.
But we could have gone for that gold medal match. And it could have been a little more of a feisty contest with
And
Netherlands.
also we were tied down because Amit Rohidas wasn't there in that particular game, right?
No, he came back. I think.
No, Rohidas wasn't in that game. So
yeah, sorry. My bad. So Rohidas was not there. We lost our first rusher against a guy like Gonzalo Pelad, who is known to be one of the best track flickers in the world. So against that kind of a thing, we did perform well. I think Viren Raskina also said that the second goal it was not a penalty stroke. So there was obviously FIH's refereeing decisions were a lot contested this time. So you cannot just say that, they did not play for any gold medal match, so they had to settle for bronze. It is not about settling for bronze. Reaching there and getting that medal, be it silver, be it gold, be it bronze, that takes a lot of effort.
Yeah.
And you cannot... Yeah, I mean, Manu Bakar also. I think that 25 meter, I think if her last series, one more shot she had got, she would have been in the top 3. She would have gotten another medal.
she lost by 0.1 or something, right?
Yeah.
So she lost the last series, she could only get 2. But you need to understand, in that entire series, 10.2 or more is counted as a shot. So even if she had got a 10, it does not get counted. So that
margins are that fine.
Margins are that fine, and the contest is that tough.
Yeah.
It is not your easy where you get a 9 and you're counted. No.
But one of the things that I noticed this time was that I think who said this? Was it P.R. Srijesh? P.R. Srijesh said that when he entered hockey,
It was just about being an Olympian.
being an Olympian, now they want to win medals, and similarly the country also wants them to win medals. Now being an Olympian is fine. But if you want to be good at it, you have to get the medals. That's what the collective consciousness, I think, is
at the end of
which
it.
is a good thing.
Yeah.
Which is definitely a good thing, that you think that you are good enough to challenge the world's best. The next step, I think, for us is to show that support in whatever way we can to hold people accountable or to contribute to the grassroots and help these athletes come up from a very young age.
Yeah. Very true.
You know, when Abhinav Bindra, the legendary shooter, and the man I don't think there is anyone who can, better summarize an Olympic experience from the Indian contingent. Like the way he has conducted himself, the way he is giving back to the community. He said, I have no qualms in saying this is India's best campaign in the Olympics. You see, we have won 6 medals, right? And on top of that, there have been close to 6 or 7 near misses, which is 4th place finishes. And never have we had so many fourth places in
such a good competition coming up.
Lakshya, like you pointed out at the start, Lakshya was not a favorite. He was far from a favorite.
19th seed.
19 seeds are not counted as favorites.
Oh, that's what.
Yeah.
And even in the hockey thing.
And where does he finish and who does he beat?
Exactly.
He beats third seed Jonathan Christie to enter the quarterfinal.
Yeah.
Beats Pranoy. Gets beaten by Axelsen because he is Victor Axelsen.
Yeah.
I think Lakshya's only bad game in the entire campaign was his bronze medal match.
And keep in mind, he had 4 game points against Axelsen.
Yeah, 4 game points, 7-point lead.
Arjun Babuta
again missing
by
a whisker.
the final shot.
Yeah.
Even with the hockey team, when I was assessing it, you were grouped in a group that had Argentina.
People said it was a group of death.
2016 Olympic champions, Australia, India's biggest bogey team ever in hockey, Belgium, the defending champions, and New Zealand, who knocked us out in the World Cup. Amidst all those guys, we finished second, defeating Australia after 52 years. And then went on to the Great Britain match, beat them in a penalty shootout, missed out by a whisk. I think when I look at 2020, the thing was we lost to Australia 7-1 and then we got hammered by Belgium 5-2.
Yeah.
So when you look at it against these two teams, when we came back into this campaign, it was just a margin of 1 goal by which we won and by which we lost. Our 2 losses were by a margin of 1 goal.
And that is why I don't like this argument, that 1.4 billion people, 6 medals, some random island has 300 people on it, and they have won 1 gold medal.
Yeah.
So what?
You have to also see that those guys are that good. to achieve that. A Botswana
are that good? Where do they train?
Where do they
train? What are what are the supplements that they are getting? Somebody was criticizing, I think at very early stage of the Olympics, that this marathon race walker Parul Chaudhary was doing Instagram reels there. For them getting AC instead of fan in Paris. So they were saying that then was it somebody else?
Goswami.
Yes, Priyanka Goswami. So people were saying that, is this why we send our Olympians to the Olympics, that they can make reels out of nothing? They are making content because they don't get paid enough and they have to sustain.
Yeah,
You make
exactly.
sure that you get paid. How much are these guys getting paid and how much of the support are they are getting outside?
Yeah.
Neeraj said it beautifully. He's saying that, yes, the development of Indian support has happened incredibly well over the past 4 or 5 years. But the same support the European American athletes are getting from 50 years. Do you not think that makes a difference?
And also, I feel one of the things that I have felt over the years as well is that we tend to remember the guys who win the medals.
Yeah.
Like a Manu Bakar now is going to be the darling till 2028,
Yes.
where she's going to perform again. But we tend to forget these guys, like an Arjun Babuda might not be remembered after 6 months.
Yeah.
For
Instance, we had our first skeet shooters in a final.
Hmm.
Anandjit Singh, like
And-
the mixed team, the skeet shooters made the final. Anandjit Singh and Maheshwari Chauhan, they'll be forgotten.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think-
Avinash Sable, 10-time national record breaker,
Yeah.
finished 11th in the 3,000 meter steeplechase.
Yeah. And Mirabai could have easily, as in like,
and
it
even-
was a close call for her as well.
Even-
1 kg was it? 1 kg or something like
And
that
I think
for
what
Mirabai Chand.
Avinash Sable said himself, I had read in an interview where he said that it is so disheartening for the athletes. Like when you sit down, when you're eating food and then you're seeing these messages where you're criticized all the time. He said that it's not easy for us as athletes to go out of the nation, stay for 4 months outside, train there in very different conditions to what we train in, stay away from our family, and then get these kind of messages saying, oh, you
Yeah.
are not good enough.
And today I just saw a tweet which
That
was,
I think there isn't any escape. Noah Lyles won the 100 meter gold and 200 meter bronze, and he was brutally attacked for
By-
his personality.
Yeah.
I'm attacking you over your personality. Alan, why do you look the way you look? Why do you talk the way you talk?
Yeah.
There's no logic to it.
and the basketball team was always, the basketball fans were always a little irked by Noah Lyles' comments.
Yeah, but
World
obviously.
champion of what?
World champion of what? But that is how he is, and the statement that he made is true. And that got them riled up so much that they
Yeah.
put out a tweet saying, we are the world champions now.
Great job. Now you are true.
No,
You are the Olympic champions.
Oh,
You're
is
not
it?
the world
But
champions.
Germany are
But
the...
basketball doesn't
Nah,
have a world championship,
they
does
have
it?
a different World Cup.
They have a World Cup.
They got rattled so much by Noah Lyles, by their own man.
Good.
Good.
But coming to this point, it's not, it's not very wrong of people to also ask for accountability,
Yeah.
right? People are spending money, as in the government is spending money.
Yeah.
And you
Taxpayers'
at the
money.
end of the day, you just win 6 medals. That's something that,
I think-
okay, but Bindra said it beautifully. It takes a lot of things to come together. It's not just the athletes, their coaches, from the support system, from the grassroots level. A lot of people have to come together to produce a sporting revolution in this country. And we should be, very positive that it's a start of something.
Yeah.
Like we could have easily finished with 13 medals. Is it right or not?
Yeah.
And we have been dominating at the lower rung of the Commonwealth Games has been good. Asian Games have been
Asian
good.
has been superb. 100 plus
So
medals.
that you need to groom these players.
And
Also, one of the if I agree that you want there to be a little objectivity to this argument,
Yeah.
I agree. The 2 contingents that have disappointed me the most this year, which I thought they will do well, is archery and badminton.
Archery is a long shot. Was a long shot already.
Why was it?
Of course.
Because in archery also, Bommadevara lost by
Yeah.
in the most heartbreaking
Yeah.
circumstances,
Yeah.
right?
The Canadian 6 10s in a row.
Yeah, 6 10s, I think more than that. 7 10s or
shoot off.
9 10s in a row. That is insane. And in fact, Bommadevara shot a 10 on his shootoff shot, and he still lost. What can you do about
And Bommadevara and Ankita Bhagat again finishing 4th in the mixed team.
it?
I think that, like a lot of people said, there are a lot of close finishes, but you do not understand that sometimes when these close finishes comes in, it there is a bit of luck involved in it. Sometimes there is a bit of skill that
Yeah.
comes in. On another day, it could be a very different result as well.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people do not recognize that. I think when there was a Lakshay Sen's loss, a lot of people were disappointed because of the run that he made.
Yeah.
The run that he made to the final or to that bronze medal match. Everybody was so hopeful that, okay, it's fine that you lost to Axelsen, but now you'll bring a medal. But on that day, the other guy might have a different plan against him. That
But
might work out.
You know what? Also, I think that history will judge 2024 Olympics for India much kindly. I wonder when Milkha Singh finished fourth or PT Usha finished fourth, at that time, if people said that, oh, earlier didn't used to have nothing, now you have something and you finished fourth. And 50, 60 years later, we are arguing that they did not have anything, you have something now and you have finished fourth. I think history will judge somebody like Laksha very kindly.
differently. Yeah.
That you did your absolute best, but you could not win a medal.
You know, like even us media are guilty of doing that. How often do we, talk about these Olympians? Yes, we are talking about them today, but down 6 months, we'll all be talking about what Rohit Sharma is having in Melbourne. Or it's give and take also, right? At the same time, I saw a tweet today which said the track and field athletes had returned home and they were being given garlands for the Tajinder Pal and all of them. They're like, what did they do? Why are you even garlanding them? What did they do? For the disappointing track and field campaign? And why are we garlanding them? I think that is the outlook that we should avoid. Yeah, you can have your opinions. I'm not saying it's wrong or right, but personally, I would not have such kind of an opinion because going to the Olympics takes a lot.
And also, people have this idea that the government or the federation somehow decides who is going to the Olympics, which is not true. These guys have worked for 4 years to get into the Olympics based on merit.
Yeah.
It was not given.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And that is, I think, we should always keep in mind before criticizing someone. Again, the same example I'm going to give. Parul Chaudhary, Priyanka Goswami making an Instagram reel. She is still the 13th or 14th best runner in the world. And the best that India has. So who will represent you? Sitting at your home and writing on keyboard. That why are they being garlanded?
Yeah. No, so why should they not be given a garland? Srijesh said it, that at a time, being an Olympian is a big thing. Having that tag Olympian next to you is a huge thing. Yeah. A lot of people do not get it.
Yeah, let's talk about hockey's success story. Like the Odisha government and of course the government of India and SAI, the Odisha government support has been huge for this, right? Since 2018 they were on board. Yeah. And even the new government has pledged its support.
And their support came at a time when India lost their main sponsor, Sahara. Sahara was the main sponsors for Hockey India for that time. Suddenly they were left with no other option, and then suddenly the Odisha government came in, because there are players from Odisha who have been great and have been part of the Indian team. You have a guy like Amit Rohidas who's done well, who is almost like a second in command to a guy like Harmanpreet, and he has done well. So you get the kind of funding and that results show. Getting back-to-back medals after what? 1972. That's almost like, again, 52 years.
Yeah.
And I wonder this can be done with the rest of the sports as well, disciplines as well. Like say maybe Bangalore or Hyderabad could take up badminton. I mean, that's a different argument altogether, Bangalore or Hyderabad. But anything else, like athletics can be taken up by, I don't know, Punjab. Wrestling by Haryana or Uttar Pradesh. But a lot of politics, lot of
public-private partnership is happening, and it's good to see. But expecting results, like you rightly pointed out, I'll go a little controversial here, but it's my personal opinion again. People who say, okay, abolish reservation, it's like that, right? It's like that. You have to give your athletes that much more infrastructure. When you want them to compete with the world's best, you need to first equip them. You need to equip them and then expect results. It's not like you have a central exam and then everybody has to write that and pass it off. I don't agree to that.
I think that is the whole thing. Like, obviously, like we have had talk where, Prakash Padukone had...
Oh, of course. Yeah, he asked for accountability. At the end of the day,
he accountability.
He never said that these people are bad.
Yeah.
He said, okay, if the government is giving you so many things, you need to take up a little more responsibility for that. That's absolutely fine coming from a coach who wants his words to be good. I don't know whether he agrees with it. His face reaction doesn't say so. But if you
No, I think
expect big things from
more,
Sachi,
more than just talking about. I think a lot of people kind of highlight that portion where he's talking. Oh, these guys have already got infrastructure, but they are not
Yeah.
doing well. More than that, it is the accountability factor. He is saying that you guys, in his in a right direction, if you look at it, the quote is basically saying you guys are talented enough now. Step up to the plate.
Yeah.
Please don't stay back and don't limit yourself. You are good. You guys are world class, or you are about to touch that world class spot. Play according to that. I think that is what he meant, and obviously it came out in a different way. And I think Ashwini Ponnappa lashed
Yeah.
out at him, and
it didn't. As far as I'm concerned, he said what he thought. It
Yeah.
didn't. It's up to your interpretation. It's up to how the media wants to play it up or how the people want to look at it.
I think it's a statement out of frustration. Okay, let's
Yeah,
get it
yeah,
clear.
yeah.
So it's an emotional statement. I doubt
Absolutely.
there is much logic behind it. But how can you, for Prakash sir, how can you just wash your hands of your youngest pupil?
No, when did he say? When did
Yeah,
he talk anything about Lakshya?
because no. So
He
how?
said he's not injured.
Yeah, so
Lakshya is. He
how
still
I am-
spoke technical things there.
how I am looking at it is
Yeah.
that Lakshya did not play the game that Lakshya usually plays in the World Tour. Very measured this time, very different, lot of variety, lot slower than how he usually is. So that's a technical change made by the coaching team, Vimal sir and Prakash sir. He does well. When he does well, you're fine. But the moment he loses that Jia match, you attack him. I'm questioning the timing of those statements.
He was expected to win that match.
Yeah, how are you expected to do anything here? You have to get it done at the end of the day. I understand
your
from that
own-
Lakshya bit. But how can you wash your
No,
hands of your youngest pupil here?
If you had listened to that interview fully,
Fully.
he also spoke about who is there in women's singles next. He did not just talk about the badminton contingent. He spoke about the entire Indian contingent. Asked them to take responsibility. After PV Sindhu, whom do you have?
That 15-year-old lady, or what's her name?
When will she play the Olympics? When will she
Yeah.
be part of the tour?
Next one.
He
Fingers
also
crossed.
spoke very, very, very well about all the federations, the people, focusing on only the star athletes in that particular sport. What happens to the next rung of athletes? That is what we are essentially talking about here.
Yeah.
The support that they need to get. He's talking about a holistic support, not a star-driven support. Before Neeraj Chopra came up, how many of us watched athletes? Watched athletics? How many of us followed diamond leagues? That's a question that we need to ask ourselves, right? Now we are saying, oh, Neeraj should have won gold. Bloody, he has won you a gold and a silver. 10 years ago, you didn't even imagine
Yeah,
that
you will-
anyone from there will qualify for the final.
Exactly.
When PT Usha finished fourth, it was a big achievement for us because no one else had done that. Anju Bobby George in a world championship finishing fourth. No one had done that. Now you're worried about someone getting a silver. Now you're getting frustrated about that. That also shows the good side of it. That Neeraj standards, nothing else.
Neeraj standards, yes.
Nothing
yes.
else. But it's a monumental achievement. Like 20 years down the line, if you take the unnecessary results out of the way, unnecessary comparisons out of the way, it'll feel like a monumental achievement. And he's not done yet.
He's
Yeah,
not
he has properly
26.
He has properly said, I kind of know that now
I
I did not think about that 90 meters so much. It did not bother me so much, but now it is going to bother me. So that's the kind of motivation that you want. And because of one Neeraj Chopra, it had an impact on whoever we had with whatever diamond leagues. Avinash Sable played, Murli Srishankar was there, Tejashwin was there. So it's a start of a good thing. As in, let's look at it like that. Let's not ask, why are these people being garlanded when they have done nothing? That's not the right way to look at it. Yes, you of course, when a Tajinder Pal Singh doesn't achieve his personal best there, then you ask questions. You understand why. You understand whether he had an injury, whether his form was not right. You talk about those things, but not about why are they being garlanded.
That's almost like saying, Rinku Singh was part of the traveling squad. Why is he touching the trophy? That is almost like that. Like, you did not play a match. Why are you part of the... No, you all traveled together. You are all going there. You are all preparing at the end of the day for a big event.
Yeah.
And there are going to be, obviously, like, it's almost like a very cliche thing to say. There are going to be winners and there are going to be losers.
But you know what, like discourse overall, just not from India's perspective, from the world perspective also has been pretty poor in this Olympics. I mean, look at obviously the Noah Lyles thing I talked about, right? And then the Imane Khalif thing. All, the way she was attacked on social media is abysmal. Is absolutely abysmal. Imagine that happening to one of our athletes. How would it feel? So bad, yaar.
Even Vinesh.
Even Vinesh got it. Na? Yes. They did. I don't think people blamed Vinesh specifically.
More than anything else, I think this was the Olympics where social media shined a lot.
If you can call that shining.
If you can call it shining as well. It is where everybody on their keyboards were worthy of probably getting a gold medal for it. Maybe they should think about, since breakdance was there, probably they should try to include this as well. The best tweet gets a gold medal. Because at the end of the day, everything was probably the Italian swimmer sleeping in a park. Youssef Dikek, nothing against him. He's, that was swag in itself. But a lot of people were saying, so who got the gold medal? Nobody cares. Youssef Dikek looked insanely
cool
good
while doing it.
I think social media plays a big role in our lives. I get that, but the discourse on athletes is something that social media does not really understand. They just go out, you can put out a tweet and you see the retweets, or you feel like, oh, your tweet is the best thing out there. But the kind of struggle that a person goes through.
Some of the eminent personalities talking about Imane Khalif like that looked absolutely silly on social media.
Like, everybody has got an
without
opinion.
Proof, without understanding. See, opinion is not a problem. Mobilizing a crowd in a provocative way is the problem.
Yeah.
When you say things like, man in woman sport, a man beat up Olympic allowed a man to beat up a woman. These words are extremely mobilizing.
Exactly. That is something that was... and even with Vinesh's thing, like, people don't understand what weight cutting is. How bad it is for an athlete. For me, when I was reading what Kingshuk wrote about weight cutting, I was always going through it, and the fact that, just before your bout, maybe 5 or 6 hours before your bout, you have to cut all this weight. You are dehydrated as hell. You go up on the scale, and then immediately you have to take rest and bulk up and whatnot, and then fight also. It's not like you're fighting the next day. What I've seen in UFC is that the day of the weigh-in, they get a 1-day break, and then the event
Wrestling,
happens.
you don't get it.
Wrestling, you don't get it. And then people
Somebody like Aman Sarawat stayed up overnight and throughout the day also.
4.6 kgs around.
4.6
kgs. And kudos to him. And his coaches also. His coaches did a fantastic job. They ensured that he was given something or the other to drink, and he was being, rejuvenated. But the fact is that people don't understand weight cutting. For us, weight cutting is what? We cut down on our sugar. We'll say, oh, I won't eat anything from outside for 1 month, and I'll get into my favorite jeans or my favorite t-shirt.
I had chini toast today morning.
Exactly. And these are the kind of people who kind of make that discourse saying, oh no, Vinesh couldn't make it. How can she not make it? Bro, losing 100 grams in that entire environment is a completely different ballgame.
And also the IOA president, PT Usha, she said that, okay, the weight loss, weight gain and all that is the athlete and the coach's responsibility at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And she said that because the team doctor, Dinsha Pardiwala, he tried, after all that explanation that he gave, he was being blamed. But that IOA statement was particularly to say that this vile criticism of Dr. Dinsha Pardiwala is wrong. Vinesh and the coach also have their responsibility in doing so.
As well, yeah.
If you say, if the UWW says she lost it by 100 grams, PT Usha is not wrong in saying whatever she said. Vinesh, she didn't say that, okay, Vinesh didn't try hard. Oh, Vinesh was sitting.
You're actually right. This also puts focus, it just clicked me that India should ideally have sent more support staff with the athletes.
They already had a 1:1 ratio.
Almost
for the first
a 1:2. So the archery head coach did not go. Archery team failed. I think personal nutritionist of Vinesh did not go. Was it something like that? there are multiple athletes who did not have their nutritionists, their masseuse and stuff like that. I think 2 masseuses total with the 117 member contingent. So maybe these things a little bit should get looked into. I don't know. But as we are speaking of discourse, I think one of the biggest things that this discourse bit helped was to hide how mismanaged the Paris Olympics actually was. We did not talk about it. We did not have time to talk about it because so many things happened. Rooms were not air conditioned. The living standards were not good. You just touched upon it.
Stuff.
Yeah, but there are athletes who are supposed to perform at their best level. Not live a caveman kind of a life and then come up to the tracks next day.
What was that Italian swimmer's name?
Who was sleeping on the floor in the garden.
Yeah, he specifically said that for me as an athlete, what I do is after my lunch, I take a nap. And then I do my bit and then I have my whatever. I finish off my day. I'm not being able to take that nap inside this village. Because of the heat.
So hot and so much noise.
Because of the heat and the noise.
Yeah.
Had an Asian country hosted this tournament, hosted this game.
Riversian? You were telling me the next day that how filthy was it that so many competitions had to be cancelled. Imagine that happening here.
Yeah.
Full up in arms. Elon Musk will be the first one to tweet
Asia or even in a continent like Africa, which has never hosted
an Olympics. Egypt is actually looking to bid for 2036.
Which has never hosted an Olympics. What would have been the discourse?
I think Manu Bhakar's coach Jaspal Rana one time said that I was making Rajma Chawal for myself because the food was so bad.
Yeah. The food, again, this Italian swimmer said the same things. Food is bad. No air conditioning. It feels a lot of people have, I think Coco Gauff put it out. 10 women and 2 washrooms.
Oh God.
10 women and 2
washrooms.
In her TikTok video, she had put out...
Your flat does not have that ratio. Yeah. Your house does not have that ratio.
Yeah, exactly.
It's ridiculous.
And then she said, somebody commented, is it that bad? So she said, 5 of my teammates have now gone out and they are staying in hotels. So the ratio has come down to 5:2. 5 people and 2 washrooms.
And rich paid athletes can do that.
Yeah. Rich, Coco Gauff did not leave. But the fact of the matter is, if she wanted, she could have. What is that? Like, the fact that I saw a Harmanpreet Singh sitting after a hockey match with a portable AC was genuinely weird for me to say.
And that portable AC was arranged by IOA.
By IOA.
Yeah.
If that was also not there, it's just normal fans. And a hockey is a game where you sweat a lot. You are always running. It's a fast game. 60 minutes of non-stop running.
Any kind of sport, you will be burnt out at the end of that session.
Yeah. And these are the kind of services that a country like France, one of
the most developed countries in the world,
is giving.
Quickly, yes, and we have drifted a lot because there is a lot to speak, and to let our viewers know, we will bring a couple more episodes of Olympic Tales. We'll probably get us, individual roundups of whatever has happened, and the big Vinesh Phogat hearing is up. Probably it will be decided on Tuesday, August 13. The CSS sought 2-day extension to give a verdict on this case. So I think there's still a lot more. The Olympics is not over for at least for India. I think 6 is not 6 with an asterisk mark there. Conditions apply. But quickly before you go, what was your most memorable and most lovable Indian moment, and the one performance that disappointed you?
You go first.
Most lovable Indian moment.
The one that will stay on with you forever.
I think not in terms of medals, but I think Laksha, what he did to Christie and what he almost did to Axelson, 21, 22-year-old, absolutely ripping it up in the Olympics for a singles badminton player I have never seen in my lifetime from an Indian athlete. That will stay with me for long, and I hope that he comes out stronger out of this, whatever happened in Paris. And I think Laksha has a gold medal for us in the future.
You're saying what Axelson is saying now. Yeah, but the one that didn't live up to your hope?
Sathvi Chirag. What a horrendous game to lose out to in the quarterfinals. That'll haunt me for a while.
And you?
I think it's pretty evident for me, I guess. I think
your favorite moment was Srijesh with the mundu in front of the
Obviously,
Yeah.
that's number one. I think fashion trend,
Yeah.
number one fashion trend in Paris probably.
Hmm.
But I think that moment where he just seeing Srijesh just lie on the ground with folded palms and just like it was almost like a scene which we see in a Kerala temple, a devotee just lying down on the floor, looking up to his
Worshipping,
god
yeah.
and just praying. I think that was the whole moment. And India winning bronze was a great thing for me. It's almost like I get a feeling that they are my team. But yeah, I'm a little sad that they missed out on the gold. But yeah, there will be a transition and hopefully gold in uh, LA Olympics. I think this team is going in the very right direction. Good coach, everything is there. A moment that disappointed me because I was kind of personally rooting for her, given that I read about her story that she was away from her kid and a young kid, and she was
Deepika
Deepika.
Kumari.
Yeah. And then, because I personally rooted for her, things didn't work out. And then things did not work out at all for her in the Olympics. I think it's not disappointment in the sense that, like I'm completely downed by her performance. It's also about that outside noise that came with her. Yeah, you had a bad performance. I get it. I'm pretty sure she's going to pick herself up after that and she will try. I think she made that statement, right? I will not quit
retiring without an Olympic medal.
without an Olympic medal. So great for her. Yeah, performance wise bad, but yeah, she will also come back strong. And yeah, that
Yours,
is what-
Akshay? Top moment.
Mine, as in like Manu Bakar won, and even Aman Serawat, for all that he has gone through, like
Yeah.
that we read stories about him putting a photo of the medals in his Chatrasal room, orphaned at 11, and to just become the youngest Indian Olympic medalist. That was a great story. And Manu Bakar also, after Tokyo, she was made a scapegoat. She was made of the face of the failure of the shooting contingent, because even her personal coach said that she was not good enough to compete, as in like not ready enough to compete in 3 events, which might have been true at that time. Jaspal Rana's assessment might have been true, but then to come back from there and to win 2 medals and then nearly win the third one
Yeah.
is
Magic.
Is magic, as in, and she's just 22, and she might actually go for, you never know, shooters. Yusuf Dikek is like 40, 45, 50 or something.
51, I think.
51.
51
so, yeah.
and still
Yeah,
an
so-
absolute beast, I guess.
Yeah.
Imagine Manu Bakar shooting with grey hairs at 51 and winning her 10th gold medal. That'll be fun. At the same time, the entire badminton contingent, like archery and all, okay, yes, they were supposed to compete at that level, but the entire badminton contingent performance is even throughout the qualification. We just had HS Pranoy leading the show there in the qualification. Sindhu had an on and off year. Yes, Sachi was a big disappointment, but it can happen to anyone. Like,
Yeah, definitely.
like yes, they were robbed, as in like they that group stage in Tokyo was brutal, completely brutal. But here, yeah, they gave their best, but it can happen to anyone. But the performance as a whole, and like Prakash Padukone says, who will represent you at Los Angeles if Sindhu retires or if Sindhu doesn't make it? Do you have, as in, at least in men's singles, he said Kiran George and Priyanshu Rajawat.
Men's, I think we are quite sorted at
And
LA
Lakshya himself. And looking at Pranoy, you never can rule him out.
40-year-old
yeah,
Pranoy
yeah.
on crutches.
You're gonna do this till 90,
Yeah,
like
and-
they said in Deadpool.
A Srikanth comeback, which I badly want. So I think badminton as a whole was a disappointing campaign, and I hope Los Angeles we bring back the medals in badminton. But on a whole, I had a lot more encouraging points than discouraging points from this campaign from India. Yes, Neeraj's gold would have been a beautiful icing on the cake, but it's okay. It's okay. He wins silver, and he wins a silver. Doesn't settle for it. Let's remember that. And I think it's time for us to ask our listeners and viewers also to share their thoughts on what India's campaign meant to them. Whether 6 is not good enough, or is it good enough, or should we not look at the numbers and we should look at some of the results that didn't go our way. You can send in your feedback on 8588 966 996. You can also email us on pods@indiatoday.com. If you're watching us, please leave your comments on YouTube. If you're listening to us on Spotify or Apple Podcast, please do rate us. Thank you. Have a great week.